Welcome to selfdiscoveryradio.com, where the orchard of wisdom is just ready for picking. We celebrate your why, the journey that you've taken that inspires someone else. We support your services, we support your story. Come and be our guest, become a host, be an author with us. Come and see what we've got. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, everybody. This is Sara Troy from Sara's View of Life here on Self-Discovery Radio Network. I decided to talk about this week about social media. Which social media do you use for business or for pleasure? Which ones do you get the most out of? How do you use it? For what? And is it working for you? Now, I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Alignable, Google Plus. Those are my main social medias, and the one that I interact with the most will be Facebook. And why? Because I do find it interactive. Now I know they have an algorithm right at the present moment that is kind of repeating stuff that you're already seeing, and Facebook can certainly step it up when it comes to you reaching all of your people. They kind of link into the people that you're always speaking to and kind of keep circulating that, and not you're reaching out to new people. But I suppose it is forcing us to try and connect with other people and start a conversation. And I feel on Facebook, you can. Of course, there's the beauty of Messenger, and Messenger is something that not only you can send messages and files and pictures and etc. through, but you can also video chat, phone chat with anyone in the world as long as they do have Messenger. I communicate with a lot of people that way. I've even done shows that way when it was just audio. The thing I like about Facebook is that you see something posted and you can make a comment, and it kind of invites response, and you can really have a dialogue. Sometimes I will see someone's Facebook and I will see something that they've posted, a need perhaps, or a state of being that they're in. And I know I have a show that's addressed that, and I will post a show that answers that particular question or that situation. The other times I have seen people write something or do something, and I've wanted to reach out to them and say, I'd like to interview you because of what you're doing. Upworthy posts wonderful stuff, and that's where I actually got the comfort cases guy, and I've interviewed him twice now on his comfort cases, which please do look it up. It's a wonderful show. And there was Justin Johnson, a guitar player, but he was playing his guitar on a spade, and people make him guitars out of all sorts of things, and he can make music out of everything. So every now and again I see something, a blog, and I think I'd like to know further. I'm just as inquisitive as you, the listener to the shows, as being the interviewer, because I want to know how people came to being where they are, the gift that they've stepped into, the contribution that it's making to society, etc. And so I step into discovering them just like you are, and we learn how they got there and what they're doing. And I find Facebook very good for that, for the interaction, the conversation, and the discovery of people. The other thing that is absolutely wonderful for is support. I know when my mum was passing over, and she was in considerable amount of pain, wanting to pass over, but just didn't know how. And I remember asking my Facebook followers if they would send out a prayer to my mother to help her. And over 100 people contributed prayers and angel prayers to her. And apparently it was a rainy day, the day she passed, but the sunlight just opened up for a short while, streamed in through her window, shone on her. Apparently she just opened her eyes and opened her hands and just passed over. And I know that a lot of that is to do with the fact that so many people sent such love and caringness, that was the energy needed for her to be able to open up and let go. Recently, my sister faced near death. In fact, she's a walking miracle. Normally, they would have to do an operation for what she has, and they can't operate on her for various reasons. And so she's a walking miracle at the present moment, because she's not meant to have survived what she has. Yet, again, I asked for prayers. And so many stepped up, and it was a continual press, because it was not just a question of, it's now or not. But she was in hospital for a month, and she's out now and getting back to life very slowly, and obviously having to adjust her life, because she's just not going to be able to eat or do things like she did before, but she is alive, and we are very grateful for that. So understanding that kind of support, reaching out to people, being able to express some love and some caring and sharing, is positive energy that you're sharing with other people, and it has such an impact. And I encourage people to do that. It's not just a few words, at least 3 words for the algorithm to pick you up, but a few words of encouragement, a statement on what you're seeing. Also, sometimes you're sharing a tip, you're sharing knowledge of maybe how you got through the situation, blessings, or pictures. Sometimes a picture is going to say something more than what you're able to say. And it's encouraging for the person that's going through something. It's the same with a celebration. You want someone to celebrate with you. You've hit a milestone or achievement, a revelation that's happened in your life, and you want to share it. And the encouragement and the support and the congratulations and the upliftingness that you get from other people helps carry you through. Now, of course, this is not the replacement of people actually in your life. There is nothing better than somebody's arms wrapped around you, giving you a hug when you're in need because you're sad, or in celebration for what you're doing, or just because you're you. And we must not use our cyber friends as a replacement for physical friends. There is a balance of both. But do not underestimate the cyber friends and the strength and the energy and the vibration that they bring, because it is truly very, very much a reality. I like Facebook also because you can actually post more articles. You can post things where you can make a statement. I post a lot of pictures. I do take a picture, add a saying to it, and invite other people to react to it and to share. You see a wonderful video of something that's been done, and you can share it, and people can keep that journey going, and it's a wonderful way to pass the message on. And I do find Facebook very, very good for that. It's also, you have live Facebook now, where people can go live and you can interact with them right in that time period. And it's a wonderful way of capturing something that's happening in the moment and bringing it live to people. If you're on YouTube, you've got to create the video, you've got to put it up. But this is something you can capture things that are happening right now. And an awful lot of people are doing their tutorials or their weekly statements or invitations through that. I as yet not gone down that road, but no doubt I will at some point. So yes, I'm a fan of Facebook. Can they improve? Yes, I am tired of seeing the same old. Please give me something new. Let me reach out to more people. Let the people that I actually do have signed up underneath me hear my messages. Of course, I use it for posting of the shows. I have a Facebook group. I have the Facebook business page, and I have my own Facebook, and it gets posted across the section there. And I've got other Facebook pages for other businesses as well. So keeping up with it, yes, that's a challenge. Now, you can use things like Hootsuite, where you can set things up for the week or the month, and then that will, on a timetable, post all your postings. But I have so many shows every week and so much stuff I need to interact with that it's a little difficult for me to do that. But again, maybe down the road I will. So yes, I'm a fan of Facebook. Make sure that your picture is clear and invitational. Make sure you do have a banner there that does speak to who you are and what you're doing. Don't just use Facebook as just ads, promoting. Be invitational. Pose a problem. Then you can provide a solution that people can join you on. Let people know what you're doing. Be interactive. That's what Facebook is best for. Okay. Now, Google Plus. Of course, every time you do anything on Google, it's pushing your name out there, and every single show I do goes on Google, and every posting, every blog goes on Google. But I have not found it as interactive. I haven't found it as friendly. I don't like their layout. They keep changing things, and I think until they settle into something, it's not something I'm going to spend time on interacting. Every now and again, I go there and I like people's pictures and I share, or post a comment, but I do not find it a platform where there is the dialogue going back and forth. It is really more of a platform to post things, share things, but not much interaction. But it does, you know, if you anything to do with Google, it does put you up there on the Google, and so it's a good thing to do that. Twitter, and of course, you know, we know the power of Twitter, don't we? How many people have fallen because of their tweets, and how many people should fall because of their tweets. Tweets, you know, it's the 140 characters that you've got to get out there, and it does force you to be articulate. Of course, I do use it again for the shows and post what the show is about, and let people come in if they're interested in that topic. I follow other people on Twitter. I make comments about what they're doing, but I personally do not find it as the interactive dialogue. I may make a comment on someone. I don't always see a response to that comment as I do on Facebook. You can see a whole conversation of comments, people joining the bandwagon, and you really are conversing there. I don't see that on Twitter. Maybe I just don't use Twitter that way, but it is a wonderful platform for letting people know what you're doing, and everything I do goes automatically up on Twitter, so people not only can see the shows, but they can see things that I post, and my comments and my pictures and all of that. So it's a very good platform for that. As I said, I speak and respond to people, but I haven't found it to have that thread. And maybe I'm not posting things sensational enough, or maybe I don't have those kind of people. I don't know. If you love Twitter and you use it in a particular way, or Google, please do share in the comments of the show. Let me know how you use them and how it's worked for you. LinkedIn. Now, I sat through a webinar a little while ago about LinkedIn and how you need to sign up to be, you know, it's premium business. And somebody was talking about 50% your business, you work on your business, 50% you work on LinkedIn. And I don't like those odds. I'm already spending so many hours on my business that actually is time. Yeah, I can't do interviews in a second. They are an hour. And so another 50% of my time on LinkedIn? No. But what I do like about the algorithm of LinkedIn is whatever you do post and whatever you do respond to has a nice domino effect, and so it really goes out there. So it's one that I go to now and again. I follow people, I make comments, I make statements. It's a good one for people connecting with you. They've seen your profile, they want to have a chat, want to do a show, want to invite you to do a summit. It's a professional platform. So it's a really good one of meeting and networking. So I'd call it more of a networking platform where you're meeting other people. How can you interact? How can you do business together? How can you get to know each other? And one thing I do, I'm on LinkedIn every single day with something. I write blogs quite a bit. I post all the videos that I'm doing myself on interactions or statements up there so people can see, and I do follow other people and follow up and connect with people and follow through, folks. That's very important. If people connect with you on any social medias, follow through. I know sometimes it can be inundating, it can be a little difficult. What I do, if I've got a thread like that, I cut and paste somebody I want to get back to, and I put it up in my calendar, and I go, oh yeah, I wanted to follow through with that person. So there's ways of doing it, find ways of doing it, but it's, you find somebody interesting, you want to follow through with them, and then you're inundated with something else. So cut and paste, put it somewhere else that you can get back to, okay? So LinkedIn is very much the professional site. You're going to meet a lot of professional people. A lot of people look for professional jobs through there. For me, obviously, I'm looking for the coaches, the mentors, the teachers, the people in business that want to inspire others and have tools and skills that they can share with others. And it is all done on a business level. And I've really interviewed some wonderful people from there. So if you have a business and you want to step it up, most certainly LinkedIn is a good one to go in. Now, if you're in North America, another one that I'm finding very useful is called Alignable. And I was with Alignable when I was in the Vancouver region, and I didn't connect very much with people. When I went up to Toronto, still not much happened. But then I came to Victoria here in BC, and I started connecting with people on Alignable, and the floodgates have opened. I have met so many wonderful people, and because they're also in my area, able to physically meet them. And I'm now working with a few people on projects that I've met through Alignable, and I find Alignable very supportive. It allows a platform where we can support each other, get to know each other, meet each other, find a way to collaborate. And set out to meet one another. And if you can't do it actually in your vicinity, then of course you can set up the calls, you can set up the Skypes, you can set up the Zooms. But it is a platform where it is about helping one another with the services that you have, sharing, recommending, supporting, and it's a very good platform, and it's a little bit more intimate, especially if you're in a community that that has that ability for you to meet people. I highly recommend it. So what have I done? I've done Facebook, I've done Twitter, I've done LinkedIn, I've done Alignable, and I've done Google. There is Tumblr, and I used to be with Tumblr, and I know that my postings still go out to Tumblr. Again, not found it an interactive, so I don't really follow through other than my postings. Pinterest, of course, if you're doing anything visual, pictures, art, anything like that, every show I do goes up on Pinterest as well. There's always graphics to do with any of my shows. It's again not one of those ones that is interactive, you like and it goes into your like board, etc. But for people who are visual, it really draws them in, and then if they're from that visual stimulated enough to hear something, then they'll open it up. But it is good for that. So those are the social medias that I use. And I know that there are others out there, and there's so many that come and go and come and go, and they're a fad for a moment and then they're gone. And every day I'm bombarded with something else that's new, and join this, doc this and that. And it's like, sometimes I press on click before I realize what I'm doing. And the next thing I know, they want to have all my contacts from everywhere. And it's like, no, too much, too much. And so if anybody has got something from me you don't want, I apologize. I didn't realize it was such a blast out. And I think it's find those social medias that you feel comfortable with. Remember, it is about your participation, your interaction, your following through, you're making connections. It's not just about blasting. The other thing is be very, very careful, and especially like on Facebook, because it's so interactive. You are going to see things up there you don't like. And I will be honest, if I see something I don't like, behavior I don't like, I will speak out to the accountability of those people. Anything that causes harm to humanity, done on a selfish or greedy or narcissistic or evil way, I will address. But you don't go people bashing. No, I'm not a Trumpster at all. I do not agree with the man on any level whatsoever. And I really think people should open their eyes to him a lot more. But he has followers that just think he's a pot of gold. And nothing against those people. They see something I don't. I don't see a person of humanity. And I see a person who's very much egotistical, narcissistic, misogynistic, and greedy. And I do not see him serving humanity unless that humanity is part of that 1%. And that's the way I see it. I'm entitled to that opinion as you're entitled to yours. Do not go people bashing. Because somebody else disagrees with you, don't start slandering them or being rude to them or swearing at them. If I see that on any of my social medias, you are deleted immediately. If I see a comment that's nasty, I hide it or delete it. I won't put up with that. You can disagree. You can have an intellectual conversation of why your differences are there, but do not get into a pissing match, mudslinging match, or a hating match. Intolerable, not something that we want to see in society. We want to understand what unites us. What do we have in common? How we see life, because then we learn from each other. And as I said, some people see him in a different light to I do. I'm trying to actually understand what they see, because I know for my morals, for my philosophy, he's against everything I stand for. For someone else, he's for everything they stand for. And so we will look at our friends and go, okay, if you are so extreme that way, and we don't have common denominator, then there's no point in being friends. All right, just namaste and delete, because you've got nothing in common. But don't just delete for the sake of it. Don't hate someone because their opinions are different to yours. Find out why. Try and get a conversation. And if that person is just pure bad mouth and pure nasty, yes, off they go. Now, the other thing is, we see an awful lot of things that warms our heart. Of course, anytime I see somebody saving an animal, and some stories of heroism and people who are stepping up to help humanity, I'm going to support. It melts my heart. It's what I stand for. I love it. But it's the same thing as when we see things that are an injustice, or we see things that are a lesson learned. One of the things as humans, we repeat things from the past, even though we know that they were wrong, that they were dreadful. Who wants to repeat the Second World War and Nazism and prison camps? Yet we find history comes back up, and it may have a different face, but it's the same practice. In this day and age of social media, of the internet, of knowledge that's at your fingertips, we cannot make the excuse that you did not know. Because in the past, knowledge wasn't so easily shared. Now it is, and we have no excuse whatsoever to be ignorant, and especially when it comes to inflicting pain on others. And we know racism is wrong, sexism is wrong, misogyny is wrong, narcissism is wrong. We know that these behaviors only lead to pain and suffering, and we have to, as a humanity, step up and say, no, we will not accept that. We see our history. We see the red flags. We are not going to go there because we're smarter. We're smarter than that. So let's get smarter than that and make sure that history doesn't repeat itself just in a different package. So yes, I use social media not only for promoting the shows here in selfdiscoveryradio.com, but also, not only interacting with friends and making new people and having conversations and supporting one another, but also standing up for things that need to be stood up for, and commenting on things and sharing things that we need to be more aware of. And I do sign petitions. I do step up that way. I do speak out that way. I do support organizations that are actually on the forefront. And that's what we need to do as a society, as a moral compass. Please do not say, I don't want to know. I'm just, battling with my own life, and I don't want to know, and I don't really care what happens with anyone else as long as I'm all right. Because you've got to remember, we are part of a collective. We're all in this together, and we need to have each other's back. We need to support one another, because that's the only way, as a community, as a unity, as a humanity, we're going to propel forward. The invitation right now is for everyone to step up. Through social media, we learn of all the wrongs that are going on in the world, but we also can see and be inspired by the people that are trying to put things right. And that invites us to step up and say, I'm going to be a part of this. I'm going to be a part of what makes things right, so that I too can be a part of the solution. It doesn't matter if you're 1 drop, 2 drops, or a gallon. It's all part of that gathering, of that collectiveness to make a change. So let us use social media wisely. Let us use it for our business and share with what we're doing, and let people know what is happening in your business, and invite them to come and be a part of it. Let us interact with other people and be supportive of people having bad days and celebratory of people having good days. Let us have conversations over topics that mean something to us, things that we need to talk about, and be open-minded enough to be able to hear other people's perspectives. Let us share other people's stories and support them, so that other people get a chance to see what they're doing. And let us use it as a platform to raise our own vibration, to raise our own humanity, to raise our own awareness, and stop making excuses, stop living in the past, and stop ignoring things. Because whether you dip your toe in or throw your whole body in, we need you to get into the waters, because if we don't step up together as a global community and start putting things right, start shifting the balance, start treating each other with respect, with love, with caring, and come from a place of love, come from a place of caring, step into kindness, step into creative productivity, step into something that's meaningful and purposeful. If we don't do this, we are doomed to living that archaic caveman mentality over and over again. So please come and share with me, what social medias do you use? Social medias for me, Facebook #1. Love it. Twitter and alignable, not Twitter, LinkedIn and alignable, and then Twitter, and then Google for me. And there are so many more out there, and I'd love you to share here in the comments underneath the show, on Facebook here under the show title. Tell me why, what, and why you use it, how you use it, and let us share with people. I've just shared mine, and for the reasons, please come and share yours, because we're always looking for better ways to communicate, better ways to share, better ways to invite other people. And social media is such a brilliant platform of uniting us from around the world, because it has no boundaries. But the boundary is this: your self-respect and respect of others. This is not a place for you to go fishing and looking for a wife that you can sponge off or move to another country with. So quit that. I'm not interested in you men if you do not have something I can see on your page, either as a business, something there to show you have a history. I'm not going to click on every guy I see, because most of the time it's a con. I'm not for sale. I'm not looking for a husband. I'm not looking to support anyone. So we have to be very wary too of those people. That's mindfulness, folks, common sense and mindfulness. So don't just click on everyone. Look at their bio, look at their page. Is it something you resonate with? Are you somewhat within the same chapter, the same book, or are you completely opposite? And it's not about the numbers, folks. You know, you have 5,000, you have 10,000, who cares? It's about those few that you interact with, where you help and propel and build on each other. Because you have 10,000 people, that doesn't mean they're all following you, and they all believe in you, or they're all going to suddenly start sending you business. It's the people that you nurture the relationships with, the people that you show respect and support to, the people you bring into your community as a cyber friend and develop that relationship with. That's where you're going to see the support. And I thank my followers and my supporters. I have so many of you out there, bless you, that will take every one of my shows every week and post them on your pages and post them out, that are always very interactive to the things I'm posting and always there supportive. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you very, very much. And I hope that I do enough for you. This is it, folks. It's like, what are we going to do for each other? This platform is the most brilliant platform to do it on. So, yes, you're going to find on my Facebooks different things, like my business one is PLV Radio, because that's what the show used to be called, and I couldn't change the name, unfortunately, on the Facebook. So it shows Self-Discovery Radio when you go into it, but the tagline is still PLV. My ordinary Facebook is Sara Troy 88, and then I have the Art of Positive Living. I have Choose Positive Living page. I have Self-Discovery Radio group page, and my Twitter is Positive Livings, and my LinkedIn is Choose Positive Living, because a lot of those were set up with my other business. And because when you change the name, you may lose all your followers, I've just kept all those names differently. But of course, everything's here on my site. All people have to do is click, and they follow wherever I am. And of course, we're on YouTube now, and that's under my name, Sara Troy. And all the shows that I do are there now. And YouTube is another wonderful platform for sharing your knowledge, for sharing something that you're doing, for showing the world, you know, who really need to see something in a video format and a more visual of what you're doing. So YouTube is a great platform if you're doing anything that is visual. And that where people want to see you. I know that a lot of people listen to my shows through SoundCloud and through Google Play, and But now I'm seeing quite a number of people following on the YouTube because they like to see the people who are talking. And of course, I try and make it interesting for you and put up a whole load of pictures and banners along the way for you to read while you're listening to the show. So YouTube is another one. And there's so many ways, but don't get caught up with too much, because if you do, then it's just like you have too much to manage and you become a slave to your social medias. So find your platforms that you truly want to be interactive in on a daily basis. Remember, it is daily. You do have to in some way reach out daily and be interactive with other people, follow through, be respectful, be understanding, be open. And remember, this is your integrity that's on the line. Who and how you react to others speaks volumes on who you are. So think before you tweet. We're not looking for cyberbullying. We're not looking for cyber terrorism. We're not looking for the con men, the sharks. We're not interested in that. We're looking for people who are genuine, that wish to share, that wish to support, and that wish to be a part of a collaborative, because that's what social media is all about. So folks, see you next time. Who knows what next week's topic is going to be about? Come and share with me your social medias, and let's find out if there's other platforms that are good. Bye for now. For more wonderful shows like this, please go to selfdiscoveryradio.com, podcasts, and see our lineup. And if you wish to support us, we have a funded button. Please stay tuned for our next show.